Okay, look, guys, we might not be able to make up the 14 points to beat them in the championship. We can still show them who's boss. So quick, everybody grab an egg, and on the count of 3, we throw. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Kicking Haas. It is the final race of the first season. It is the Abu Dhabi Yas Marina Grand Prix. We are 14 points behind Alpine. I don't know where the tiebreaker sits. We've had 2 podiums this year. I don't know, as I said, I don't know how that tiebreaker is going to work with them, but 15 points will get us ahead of them. A 15-point, obviously, gap over them. 14 points will draw us level, and, well, we can only go for it, can't we? But at least their trucks look nice. Now, it's only been a week, 4 days since the last race, so not too much to catch you up on if you're going to have a look at the inbox here. The only thing that's really happened is our suspension research has been completed. Now, if we look over here, it is actually a nice little upgrade that the research is going to bring to us. Now, suspension is one of the parts for next season that's going to have a regulation impact on it. So, you know, we'll see what happens, you know, when we get to the start of next season. But hopefully, it's going to be a nice little improvement. Now, there is some updates to drivers. Logan Sargeant, K-Mag has a development point. We're putting that straight into control after his efforts in Brazil, where he should have been 4th at least if he hadn't stuck it in the war. And we'll see if that helps him at all. Now, do you have any upgrades to staff? It doesn't look like it. It's Gary Gennon's last race as a race engineer with us, so let's hope he goes out on a little bit of a high here with Logan Sargeant. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that we need to worry about. Now, the Yas Marina track in the desert, unsurprisingly, no rain this weekend. We can see the sectors for qualifying. I've got to get my bearings. Red is sector 1, blue is sector 2, and then yellow is the final sector. Sectors by speed. It's got a little bit of everything. Medium, low speed corners, traction zones, long straights. So it should be an interesting race for us. And there's all those timing considerations. Expected strategies. It is potentially a 1-stop, potentially a 2-stop, it looks like. And the compound tyre performance, there it is there. All right, let's go and do some free practice. And by free practice, I mean performance targets. So reach Q3 is what's requested. So we should be able to get to Q2 then, and we'll get someone in the top 12 surely. The race, we need to finish in the top 12, no problem. And we don't have a qualifying thing for this race being the last race, but we need one driver in the top 14 to get, what's that? $250,000 plus change. So that would be all very, very nice if we can do it. Now, let's go to Abu Dhabi. Okay, so confirmation of the weather, clear skies, and I'll go do some free practice, and I will see you very soon for qualifying. Okay, so free practice is done, and unfortunately, I just don't think we have the pace here at this track, which is a big, big shame. You never know, maybe it'll come late. We can see in FP1 here, we were 14th and 17th, albeit on the hard tyre. FP2, K-Mag got inside the top 10. Sargeant was 13th, and Sargeant does it this session. I think he crashed and rode off the car, and it was all a little bit silly from him. And then K-Mag in FP3 was 12th, and Sargeant was 15th. So, yeah, we're just a little bit off the pace, which is a big, big shame. But we'll go out to qualify. We'll see what happens. And, you know, the setup's confidence is relatively good. So, who knows? And so, for one last time this season, our Haasers come out to the track. And, yeah, well, let's hope that free practice wasn't much of a guide. Alright, so as perhaps expected, we're coming around, we're just going to make it in time. We have Sargeant on the bubble in 15th, we have Magnussen in 13th. Let's have a look and see what we're getting in terms of sector times behind us. Latifi, Vettel, Albon are all going faster. And we're catching what looks to be an Alfa Romeo in front. Possibly of Guan Yu Zhou. That is a very, very slow moving Alfa Romeo, and that's the end of Sargeant's lap. That's going to absolutely stuff him up. K-Mag hopefully hasn't been affected, but Guan Yu Zhou just needs to get out of the way here, doesn't he? Latifi and Ricciardo have both finished their laps. Sargeant is still currently just in. I mean, he's done a yellow middle sector. I mean, what is this car even doing on the track? If they're not, like, why are you on the racing line? He's going to stuff up K-Mag here as well. So it's just a matter of whether Vettel can bump Sargeant here, I think. I don't understand what Zhou's doing. I mean, he should get a penalty for that, shouldn't he? Let's hope that it doesn't. Vettel's finished. So we are going to get through, but Guan Yu Zhou should be he should be banned from the race. So there we go. We got through relatively comfortably in the end, but Guan Yu Zhou, what are you doing, man? Alright, we're going to follow Magnussen on this lap. He is currently just outside. You can see just a smidge, 1/1000th of a second behind Gasly inside the top 10. Sargeant is a little bit further back in 13th. Let's get some sector times up here and see how we do. We are the last two cars on track, and that is Sargeant in front of us. So Gasly has not gone much quicker, if at all. We've got green sectors for ourselves. Tsunoda has done 2 green sectors as well. Gasly was out very early to do his lap, so not surprised that he has finished early. And we've got the checkered flag having been thrown. Alonso behind us. Now, of course, there is interest in Alonso versus Magnussen for 9th in the championship. They're currently equal on points. Both of our cars have done 2 green sectors. Alonso, where's he gone up to 4th? So the Alpines have finally decided to show up, and we are 11th again. We're out. So confirmation, 15th and 11th before penalties is where our boys will be starting. Tsunoda has a penalty, so that will help. So is Ricciardo. So Sargeant will get a helping hand from those two. So we could be 12th and 13th behind each other on the grid. But let's have a look and see what we're doing strategy-wise. And, well, we're thinking 2-stop, or are we thinking 1-stop? It's very, very marginal, isn't it? It's very marginal. If we get a safety car, it's doable. But then if you get a safety car, you're probably going to want to come in and change things around, aren't you? So I'm thinking strategy B here, but I'm thinking we want to start on a medium and maybe finish on the soft. Let's wait till the softs to get to the end. You want to be on the hard for as little time as possible, I would think. So maybe something like that. And then I think we'll try and do something similar with K-Mag, and we'll just kind of see how that works for us. Okay, welcome back, and yet again, Ferrari and Red Bull share the front row. Let's hope that's a little bit different next season, but for the final time this year, off we go, and let's get on board with Magnussen, and we've got Sargeant. Actually, if we go on Sargeant, we'll see Magnussen in front of us, so we can get both our cars in view here. We've got Gasly on our inside. Can we get that done? We are pushing on a little bit, given that we have a little bit of room to spare with on our tyres. So we're attacking, and obviously we'll deploy for the first, maybe just the first lap here. We'll see where we're sitting in. As I've said before, I like to try and get to the DRS being opened with deploying if possible, just to try and get as far up as we can and get ourselves tucked up in a DRS train with cars that are potentially faster than us. So if we want to beat Alpine, who are currently 5th and 6th, we pretty much need them both to crash out, I would say. And, well, if Magnussen wants to beat Alonso, then he needs to get this move done on Norris very quickly as well. But like I say, unfortunately, for whatever reason, it just doesn't feel like our car is suiting this track this weekend. We have stopped development, of course, long ago at this point, so maybe some of these bigger teams with the bigger budgets have carried on a little bit with developments and brought parts to this particular race, but we certainly didn't do that, that's for sure. So we've got Norris in front of us here, and well, it's a little bit of a train all the way to the front, really. Leclerc at the front is there's more or less nose to tail, though Norris is dropping off a little bit from Russell in front of him. So let's see if K-Mag can get this move done down the front straight, potentially. He's certainly having a look for it. Can he get later on the brakes into turn 1? Let's see. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. So, well, I mean, Norris is definitely dropping back, and Russell is dropping back of Bottas as well. So we need to get those two moves done quickly. Otherwise, well, we might find ourselves a bit of an island on the track between Bottas and those behind us. We're definitely faster. Now, are we faster because we got ERS burning up? That's going to be the question, I suppose. But I think if we can't get it done here, then we might back Sargeant off already. And yeah, well, we'll give K-Mag this next straight. Let's push a bit of extra petrol as well. Can he get a move done? And if he can't, then we'll just have to go back and wait for DRS and hopefully get it done there. He's closing. He doesn't have to lift and coast. We're going to have to make this time up in terms of petrol later on in the race, of course. He's just not quite close enough, is he? So, yeah, that battle will rage on for a while yet. But yeah, Norris is definitely holding up Magnussen. DRS is enabled. And let's see if we can get a DRS. He should be a sitting duck with DRS. He doesn't have DRS to Russell in front. He's dropped almost 2 seconds. And let's just give this one up, please, Lando. Come on, mate. He's burning his battery at this point, isn't he? So I wonder if we go overtake. What if we go overtake with both cars? How close behind is Sargeant? He's right there. And let's see if we can get a double overtake on Lando Norris down this straight. Like I say, I suspect he is... there we go. There we go. Nicely done. And can Sargeant get him as well? No, Sargeant's a little bit further back again. But K-Mag moves up a position into 10th. And he can now try and set about closing that gap to George Russell. No, I should probably turn the ERS off. Is Norris just going to get him straight back, though? That's always the worry. He's managed to hold him off, has he? He has. But we're at the head of a train, and we're not really able to catch those in front just now. And Norris has got him back. Yeah, this is just going to go back and forth for a bit, I think. And while we do that, the Mercedes in front continue to pull away. That gap is upwards of 5 seconds at times. So, yeah, and then there's a Tsunoda train behind us. The field is just like 1, 2, 3, 4 trains, and then Albon. Yeah, now guys, we're sort of scrapping over the last point right now, which is not great because we had bigger hopes. So I certainly had bigger hopes here. I thought we might be able to, well, maybe get Alpine, but I was hoping that Magnussen might have a chance of beating Alonso, but it looks as though the pace of the two cars, they're in quite literally different races just now. Sargeant looks like he might be dropping off the back as well. Still got the DRS though, but actually both cars are past us now. We're sitting 12th and 13th, so it might be a pointless end to the season. Oh no, Magnussen back up. Where is he now? In 10th. We are kind of racing for the first stop at this point though, I think. We might just need to back that off a little bit, just to make sure we get there. And there is a crash. Is it a safety car crash? And if so, do we want to come in the pits? I don't see anybody stopped over here. Ricciardo has crashed and looks like he's got himself back going again. But this is some good racing in front. Magnussen and Gasly. And K-Mag, is he about to come out on top there? Well, it's difficult to see right now, isn't it? Let's jump on board with K-Mag. And looks like he's going to lose out to that one. But still plenty of time to go on this one. Only lap 12. So no need to panic yet. Though the gap of 6, almost 7 seconds to those in front is well, it is panic worthy, isn't it? Alright, so we've got some pit stops starting now. We enter our pit window. I was just starting to get a little bit worried because our tyre life is quite low and there's a lot of people on medium tyres. I was starting to get a little bit worried that they were going to try and one-stop. But I don't think you can one-stop from here. They're coming in before we are, so that should be fine. You can see K-Mag is just losing the back a little bit of Norris, and we've got, was that a Ferrari that's just made their stop coming back past us. And unfortunately, Sargeant has dropped back completely. So yeah, it's we just don't have the pace, do we? We haven't had it since free practice, so we'll see what happens as Magnussen enters his pit window. Alright, so pit stops have happened for the most part. There's some people I suspect that haven't stopped. And yeah, so there's Guan Yu Zhou and Tsunoda and Norris, who we were racing with, who look like they're going to one-stop this one. As there's some stops coming in now, actually. But it's kind of shaken out for us. Can we get ahead of Norris? No, so we're right with Norris. So we're basically where we left off after the pit stops. Though I do worry that Norris is going to be trying to one-stop this one. And that might... we'll be on soft tyres at the end, so it'll be an interesting finish to the race if there are guys hanging on hards, while we are hopefully steaming through on some brand new softs. Oh, safety car! So, this livens things up a little bit. Unfortunately, though, I don't think we can do anything with it because we're already on the hard tyre. And it's too early, much too early to switch to a soft. So it's going to bunch everybody up, which is helpful. But in terms of a strategy, I don't think we can do anything with it. Let's see if anybody else comes in, though. Is anybody going to stop? Here come the leaders past the pits. Leclerc is the one that's crashed. He is out. So that's going to move everybody up a position, which is useful.
It's a yellow on the pit straight.
And so nobody is pitting. It's too early for a strategy, you know, to change anything. Ricardo's coming, but he's a lap down anyway. Yeah, like I say, what it does do, though, is it brings everybody back together. Alright, so safety car is ending. Now, I can't decide if this is good or bad for our strategy because we're closed up on those in front of us, but we've still got another stop to make. The question, I suppose, is do we try and get to the end now? But we've kind of got to make that decision, and I just think finishing on the soft tyres might be useful. We can take you off harvest, though, Sargeant. So, yeah, we'll just kind of see here. I mean, yes, we're closer to the front, but we're also going to probably fall behind more cars when we do come in to stop. What we needed was that safety car in about 10 laps' time, didn't we? Not right now, but anyway. Alright, so pit stops are happening. It's a little too early, I would have thought, here for the soft. What's tyre? Hang on, let's... Multiple car. Okay, whoa. Can we get a safety car now? That would be... Where are we on the track here with K-Mag? We're coming around the... Where are we on the track with K-Mag? This is the second last corner, isn't it? Now, what I need to know if there's a safety car or not. We're in our pit window. Everybody... Okay, wait. I'm just going to pit him just in case. Because this would be huge. If it is a safety car... It's absolutely massive. And Sargeant is not that far behind him. We'll leave Sargeant out. Are we going to get safety car? No. So what's happened here? Let's start with that.
Now look at this.
It's Gasly. So it's right behind us. It's going to be the two AlphaTauris, is it? They haven't taken us out, have they? No, it's Sonoda into the back of Gasly. And, well, Gasly's been Sonoda'd. So Magnussen did not stop. Is that what I'm... That's what I think I take from that. Which is... fine. Everybody else is coming in to stop anyway. Alright, let's go deploy. Let's have some push laps here.
Mode push.
And try and get... We'll try and get the better soft tyres at the end. Alright, so, I mean, this is a risk. I don't know if this is going to work out for us or not. We need to get past Norris, though, quick smart, because we think he is going to the end. DRS, pushing the tyres, not worried about petrol, and we still can't quite get that done. And, well, every lap we can do here and not lose time, which we are currently doing, is going to benefit us in the long run, and he's coming into the pits, because I didn't tell him not to. Alright, well, that was silly, wasn't it? Alright, Sargeant, let's see what you can do. I forgot to cancel the pit stop. So we'll have to tell K-Mag just to back it off a little bit when he gets back out onto the track. Please, game. Yeah, so we don't want him doing that because he's going to get to the end as things stand, but not quite. So he has come out, not quite yet, in 12th, has he? So he has come out in 12th, a little ways behind Bottas. Now, what are they looking like on tyres? So everybody else has come out on mediums. So it was a little too soon, as I suspected. And we've got what's going on up here. There's a little group of cars. We'll keep an eye on Sargeant here as he continues to push on. And so it's Alonso. Is it Alonso? Who's in front of us there? I'm not quite sure what Magnussen's looking to catch. But we'll keep going with Sargeant. We'll ignore that now because we've made our stop already. And this is just a little bit now with Sargeant of how far can we go. What's his lap times like? He's did a 1:30, so the cars behind are going faster than him anyway. And this is the optimal lap for him to come in. So let's do it this lap then. No, this one. Yeah, we'll do it this lap. That's fine. And then let's go back to neutral for now. We've still got a load of petrol. And when he comes out of the pits, we'll have to remember to take him back to not quite so fast. But let's see where this all shakes out. Alright, so Sargeant comes out in 12th, Magnussen in 11th. But K-Mag is not a mile away from those cars in front of him. Alonso in P6 though. We've got another safety car. Alright, now this, if everybody else was on a medium tyre, this actually is interesting. Now, who has crashed as well? We don't want to come in again. But who has crashed? Oh, Ocon is out. So Alpines have lost the car. Is this about to all come back to us somewhat? Okay, so safety car is ending. There will be 11 laps to go at the end of this one, I think, because you do the 58th lap, right? So 11 laps to go. Everybody else in front of us on a medium or a hard tyre. And well, this is Mexico all over again, isn't it? What can we do here? We don't have to worry about petrol. We will be burning that to the end. Tyres we have to be a little bit careful with, but we're not too badly off. And I think we'll go to overtake here and try and make as many positions early on as we can. Because some of those hard tyre runners up there might be very much for the taking. Maybe not Verstappen, but certainly Russell, Norris, and Zoe. Is Alonso on a hard tyre? No. Yeah, but 3 of those front 4 should very much be gettable for us. So let's see what we can do here. First target is Bottas. And, well, you've got to say not much is happening. It's a little bit as you were. Yeah, I mean, there's not much of a threat behind us. It's Aston Martins and Williams and then the 2 Alpha Tauris who took each other out. So, you know, there's not too much of a threat behind. We can very much look forward. But even with the tyre advantage, it does look a little bit as though these cars are driving away from us. We've got overtake. I wonder if this is where we should be using deploy before we have DRS activated. How the tyre's doing. Yeah, so they're only just going to get to the end. There should be DRS at the end of this lap, so that might help us a little bit. But, yeah, we haven't quite got the tyre advantage I was hoping for. We've got another yellow flag.
DRS
and DRS is now enabled. So let's see what we can do with that.
Seems to have been a lockup.
I mean, we did kind of burn through a lot of the ERS, but I think we needed to do that to stay within DRS of these guys. I think without it, they were going to drive away from us. And it's going to be a DRS train as well, isn't it? So, yeah, this is maybe going to be a bit anticlimactic at the end. But we'll see here. It's everybody in a line. This, as I said, you can see behind us, they are dropping away a little bit. But to be fair, we are dropping away a little bit ourselves. Sargeant is already... Has he lost DRS? Magnussen has lost DRS as well now. He might have made a little mistake there. In fact, Sargeant has got him, has he? No. But we just need our boys to... Yeah, Sargeant has got him now with DRS. Maybe Sargeant can have a crack at Bottas. Who knows? Zoe and Norris are dropping backwards. There is... What's that? Lap 53 of 58 now. And, well, those hard tyre runners are falling back. Let's go back and have a look here. Sargeant is the front car now. And, well, we saw him do an amazing triple overtake in Brazil. Could we see something similar here, I wonder? So it's Zoe, Hamilton, Norris, and Bottas that are in front of us. And Yeah, you can even, it just looks, it feels as though we just don't quite have the pace that we need. We'll go more attacking on the tyres the last few laps, when there really is nothing to lose. But yeah, as things stand, Alonso in third is just he's bringing it out big time for Alpine, isn't he? And we just don't quite have the pace. You can see when everybody gets the DRS open, or maybe stick one up the inside here. There's a lockup as well, and that is Norris. Is it a safety car? Sargeant apparently had the move done.
Safety car.
There's no need to pit, I don't think, because everybody is where they are. But we saw it on board. Massive lockup. Norris's tyres would have just about been dead anyway. And we're going to have a, well, have we heard this before? Safety car last few laps of an Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Okay, so unlike the famous race this time a year ago, safety car is ending. Oh no, it is like the last race, isn't it? The last lap. It is full push from us. Sargeant 8th, Magnussen 10th, sorry. And well, it is absolutely go time. Let's see if we can make up any more positions here. Can Sargeant and Magnussen soft tyres do us any good? We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. I'm assuming that is behind us. No DRS, of course. Or at least there shouldn't be, unless Michael Massey say, here we go. Sargeant's got a run on Hamilton. He goes across to block him. Cheeky. And we've got Zoe in front of him as well on a hard tyre. We're jinking and jinking. Can we stick a move on here somewhere? Doesn't look like it. And Magnussen behind, can't get a move done on Bottas either. But Sargeant looks like he's quicker. If he can get up the inside of Hamilton here, he just might have him, you know. There he is, getting past Hamilton. Can he take Guan Yu Zhou for good measure as well and get himself a P6? What an end to the season Logan Sargeant is having. And
nice work, Kev.
well, he's got a tyre advantage. I don't know that he has a section of the track that he can sort of use it. Bottas has been overtaken by K-Mag as well. He's up to 9th. So if it wasn't for Alonso all the way up there in 3rd, we might have had a sneak attack at Alpine. But it looks as though it's going to be Sargeant finishing the season in 7th. And K-Mag will come across for 8th. K-Mag got 8th in the end. So right at the very end there, I think Carlos Sainz dropped down the order. Like literally across the line. So it's a 6th and it is an 8th for the two Haas's. So we did in the end get what's that, 12 points, so we would have fallen just short anyway. K-Mag will finish the season in 9th. Sargeant will move up 2 places and finish in 13th ahead of both the McLaren drivers. So a wonderful first season from Sargeant, considering he didn't come in till after Miami, so he was what, 5 or 6 rounds short as well. But Red Bull will win the... who won the Drivers' Championship? So Verstappen is the world champion ahead of Leclerc and Perez. And then if we go and have a look at the constructors, Red Bull ahead of Ferrari, Mercedes, Alfa Romeo, Alpine, and then ourselves. 130 points in 6th. That is a very, very decent return, I'm going to say. So, guys, if you've enjoyed that, it's a wonderful first season. Really enjoyed it. Make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. We'll be back next time. We will play through the off-season. We'll see all the driver market. I don't think we're going to be involved other than to get a reserve driver. Let me know who you'd like to see. Jack Crawford, I think, is the ideal guy, but we'll have to wait and see who else is available. But yeah, and then of course we'll get a new race engineer as well. We'll see what other teams do. We'll work on our car. We'll get the best car we can, and well, we'll see where that leaves us when we get to Bahrain. Until then, guys, I've been Aussie Bill, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.